2016 NBA draft is in the books, and Moke Hamilton has gone through the winners and the losers. But we also had a number of transactions, those big trades that everybody loves. There were a couple that were done before the draft, and certainly the three-team deal that had Jeff Teague landing in Indiana and George Hill landing in Utah, and then the 12th overall pick landing back to Atlanta was kind of the first one to drop. We'll see what this ends up being. I think both the Indiana Pacers and the Utah Jazz got what they wanted. Not quite sure the Atlanta Hawks got what they wanted out of that 12. The biggest deal on draft day, of course, was the Orlando Magic trading Victor Oladipo, Ersan Ilyasova, and the rights to Domantas Sabonis to get Serge Ibaka from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, a great move from the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got a ton for a guy that was really starting to produce diminishing returns for them. Orlando hoping that Serge Ibaka can be that defensive presence they've been missing. If you grade this one out, this one starts to get a little bit questionable. Serge Ibaka will be a free agent. He'll be a free agent basically next July, and no guarantees he'll stay in Orlando beyond this season. So the Magic gave up a whole lot for a guy they won't have a whole lot of control of this time next year. And, of course, the biggest trade that happened was the Chicago Bulls moving Derrick Rose to the New York Knicks. Bulls needed to do something. They needed to make a change, and this was a big one. Moving Derrick Rose gives them a few pieces. They get certainly a serviceable big man in Robin Lopez. You get a young guard in Jerian Grant. We'll see what Jose Calderon ends up being for the Chicago Bulls. But for the New York Knicks, it's a low-risk rental. You get a Derrick Rose for a year in a time that, one, he's as motivated as anybody to play well and play as many games as he can. And when you look at what the Knicks were probably going to do in free agency, this is how they park that money. And if it doesn't work out, you're not tied into Derrick Rose long term. So there were a number of transactions here in and around the 2016 draft. There'll be a lot more coming as July 1st rolls around, and 27 NBA teams will have a max salary slot to play with. So we'll have a lot of transaction stuff going on in and around the NBA.